The Olympic Channel podcast is brought to you by Bridgestone, worldwide Olympic and Paralympic partner, a founding partner of the Olympic Channel.
Olympic Channel podcast.
My name is Ed Knowles, and this is the official Olympic Channel podcast. Right, the United States were gunning for gold in the women's football, but they had a slow start to their tournament with a 3-0 loss to Sweden. They rallied and eventually ended up with the bronze Olympic medal after a 4-3 win against Australia. Captain Megan Rapinoe joined Ashley Tulloch to look back on an interesting tournament.
Give me an idea of how you feel about this particular experience in Tokyo.
I mean, I think being able to walk away with a medal, I feel great about it. I'm so proud of this team. It was so hard. This is, I think every athlete, I think every person, working here and just involved in the Olympics would say the same thing. It's been difficult, of course. We're trying to pull off a world event in the middle of a global pandemic. So things are going to have to be different. And I think I'm just, so proud of our team and so grateful and thankful that we even have this opportunity. And it hasn't looked like any of the other ones, but that's okay. And, it was hard off the field and hard for us on the field, much harder than it had to be. But in the end, we figured it out and we're going home with a bronze medal, and I'm super proud of that.
I want to pick up on what you said about the word hard, because Ryan Krauser was here last night. He's the shot putter from USA. He got gold, amazing guy. And he gave a bit of insight in just how difficult it was every day turning up, not knowing if you were going to be able to compete because of all the COVID testing. So when you use the word hard, it being a hard games to prepare for, a hard competition, why was it hard for you personally?
I think for me personally, just being cooped up and not having any semblance of balance. I love soccer and, give everything to it, but I love getting away from it as well. And, we literally couldn't leave our hotel. We couldn't go outside. Couldn't go on walks, couldn't go get coffee, couldn't see this beautiful city. We're in, top 3 or 4 city in the entire world. And, it's all kind of right there at your fingertips, but you can't do anything. So I think just the monotony of it, was really difficult with no balance. We were, this group has been on a trip since June, 26. We were in the States together, which is much more restricted. Normally we would, go to dinner and have a day off and go get coffee and, walk around the park or something. Obviously once the competition starts, you're pretty locked down anyways, but I think just you can only watch so many shows and I didn't even read this whole time, but, it's I don't want to just sit in my bed and watch a show. I'd rather sit outside or do something. So I think just the lack of balance, especially for an athlete, you want to zone in, you want to focus so much, but you need to have that kind of turn off and have something else to do. So I think for me, that was the most difficult part.
I want to pick up on something you said after the game yesterday, which was that you said that the team hadn't really been able to find its joy. And I have to say, when you got that corner yesterday, you look pretty joyful.
I was very joyful.
What give me an idea of what joy looks like to you, what it feels like to you, and in particular with this team, this unit, which you've been on a roller coaster ride with.
Mm-hmm. I think for us, just playing free, it just felt like we were tight and a little bit nervous or, obviously we didn't have our groove. And so then things just feel like you're kind of walking through mud. It's not just the goals and it's not just the great moments. Even just, chatter on the field or even, picking each other up when we made a bad pass or whatever it is. I just felt like we were a little, just a little heavy and a little tight or something. So we kind of just, we had, obviously, as you can imagine, there was a lot of talking going on between the semifinal loss and heading into this final. But, we kind of just this is our last game. This is our last opportunity, to play for a medal, which is amazing. And I think just to play for ourselves, too, just to, kind of let go of everything and just want to put a good performance out on the last day. And we definitely did that.
Obviously, another medal for this golden generation, this incredible team that you have. What is your takeaway from what is the main takeaway for you from a very different Olympic experience?
Oh, I think just having a short memory. You have to. I mean, obviously we started the tournament off very poorly. Getting beat by Sweden the way that we did was difficult, and I think we didn't forget that quick enough. You have to learn what you can and then just move on to the next game. It's kind of like, individual tournaments in and of themselves. Just play the first one, play the second one, and you could just kind of see we never really got into our groove, and I think we were just in our heads a little bit. So just have a short memory, and also just to enjoy it. This one was much more difficult to enjoy for, a lot of reasons, COVID and, all the things that we have talked about a lot. And so I think it maybe made it just a little bit more difficult to just be like, wow, I'm actually at the Olympics competing. This is like a once in a lifetime opportunity to try to win a medal. So I think I always try to keep that in mind. Like, I'm doing something that is so special for a job. Like, I call this a job, and I get to play a sport for a living. So just to enjoy every single moment.
But you're also so much more than a soccer player. You're so much more than a woman, and you're a role model, you're a pioneer, and you've been pushing the limits and the boundaries of what's possible. What do you make of this new generation of little girls who are being fierce, who are skating, who are surfing, and they're dominating on the world stage, not just as athletes, but as women?
I mean, I obviously love to see that. I just think no one should ever tell you what your limits are and tell you what your dreams are. And I think, particularly for little girls, we get that a lot, be this or be that, or don't be this or don't be that. So to see these little kids like out there shredding, just, again, going back to enjoying it, and you just see the joy on their face, and they're living by their own rules. And I feel like this new generation, and the younger generation is doing that. They're just living by their own rules, and, they're going to set the limits for themselves, and they're setting them pretty high.
Olympic Channel Podcast.
And with that, it all comes to a close. A huge thank you for listening. Stay safe, stronger together. See you very soon.
Think like an Olympian.